Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to be looking at this problem here. I got this problem from James Stewart's calculus book, the fifth edition, and it's one of the highlighted ones. Usually, the highlighted ones are the ones that are more challenging, and so if you can solve that, it means you pretty much understand the topic at hand. So let's solve these problems. C, F, G, which is going to be like the last time. Right, this is F, G of X is equal to F, and we know G of X is equal to that, so that's X plus 1 divided by X plus 2. Then this is our new X. X here, the function, what the function does is that it adds a reciprocal of X to X. So if this is our X, all we're doing is we're adding a reciprocal of this to this. So let's write our X, our new X, divided by X plus 2 plus 1 divided by our new X divided by X plus 2. So when we take the reciprocal of this, we get X plus 1 divided by X plus 2 plus, this would be 1 over 1 times X plus 2 divided by X plus 1. If you don't understand that process, watch the video I did on fractions and you will understand that. And so that gives us X plus 1 divided by X plus 2 plus X plus 2 divided by X plus 1. And sorry, my voice is not the best this morning. Actually, it's afternoon, but okay. Um, so here we're going to go ahead and add these together. So let's go ahead and multiply the denominators together. Plus 1. And you cross multiply this. X plus 1 times X plus 1 plus X plus 2 times X plus 2. Again, if this process is not clear, you can look at the fraction video that I did that explain how to do all of this. X squared minus X by this X by this 1. And I pretty much know how to do this. X plus X plus 1 plus X squared plus 2X plus 2X plus 4. I mean, one could have just used there are formulas to use for this, and this one's like the most basic. I pretty much knew it was X squared plus 2X plus 2, and this one would be X squared plus 4X plus 4. But just want to get it out like this so we fully understand the process. X plus 1. And then we're gonna take the like terms and add them together. So we have, for the sake of space, I'm just gonna go ahead and add them all up here and write the final answer here, so we don't have to erase and start over. So there are only two x squares, so add those together. You get 2x squared. It's all positive, so like this, and then we have the x's. You have 2x here, that's 4x over here, and there's 2x over here. In addition, to make 6x, and 4 plus 1 here is 5. It's 5 divided by x, x plus 2 times x plus 1. Now, you might be able to simplify this further by solving this quadratic equation over here and dividing them. But if, for the purpose of what we're doing, this is sufficient an answer, so we're just going to stop here. It's complete enough. Okay, we're going to go to the second one. Okay, for the g of x, I said g of x. G of f is the same. G f of x. Now g is now a function of f of x, and this is going to be equal to g of, we know what f of x is. We go ahead and substitute that into where f of x is. Sometimes quite tired today. And now this is our new x. This is our new x, and we already have a function for g of x, and that is x plus 1 divided by x plus 2. So this new x is going to be rewritten in this form. So let's go ahead and write our x plus 1 over x. Do not forget this is our x function. And then we add the 1 plus 1 divided by our x again. So it's our new x plus 2. So now let's go ahead and solve this here, make it a little bit, tidy it up a bit. I mean, that's the answer, but we can't do it in this one. So we're going to have x times x plus 1 plus x divided by x divided by x times x plus 1 plus 2 times x divided by x. So what I did is just what we did previously. I just didn't show all the steps. I just made this x here the denominator, the common denominator for all of it, and I essentially went from there. So essentially this is no different from this. If I divide this here with x, I'm just gonna go back to getting what I have here. So x and x, x squared, or x times x is just the x, and then 1 divided by x is that right there, plus 1. If I divide x plus by x, we're just gonna get 1 here. So I changed nothing. I just rewrote it. So now here, I like to elongate this line over here so we know where the main division line is. So and this is going to be x squared plus 1 plus x divided by x times x divided by x squared plus 1, then we can make 6 on here, plus 1 plus 2x, or plus 2x. Okay, let's look at this. This would divide this here, so that would be 1. So multiply across, and we're going to have x squared plus 1 plus x divided by x squared plus 1 plus 2x. Generally, we like to write the x, the alphabets before the numerals, but I'll just let it as that. And I think we can solve this further and see where it leads us. So let's kind of rewrite it to where it makes sense to us as a quadratic equation divided by x squared plus 2x plus 1. Okay, by just looking at this one, I can tell that this is just the square of x plus 1. It's just the square of x plus 1. So it's x plus 1, x plus 1, and the x squared, and this one can I'll leave it like that because it doesn't lend itself to we're not going to be able to get x plus 1 from this here because it's going to be, let's see if I split this into 2x minus x. Well, it's going to be prolonging the problem. So the main thing we're doing is trying to simplify minimally our new function. But of course, we can get a value for this. I'm not exactly sure what it is until I solve it. But for all intents and purposes, for this purpose, uh, we're done. That's going to be our final answer. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, this time we'll be looking at f of f, and that's f as a function of f, as a function of itself. This is going to be f. F of x is this here, so we're going to go ahead and put it in. This is kind of where it gets a bit confusing. So this is our new x, and now we have to output it as this function here. So, but if you just know that this is x, and you just got to do onto this x what you did to it here, then it becomes easy. So this is our new x. Go ahead and write x once plus 1 over x plus 1 over x, 1 divided by x plus 1 over x, which is our new x. And then go ahead and invert the next one over plus. Well, before we do that, we have to go ahead and get the lowest common denominator to be x times x over here plus 1 divided by x. We have to elongate this one so we know what the main dividing line is. So I know. Don't confuse it with this one, which can happen. Plus 1 divided by 1 times x, invert that, divided by x squared plus 1. If you don't know how I did this, please watch the fraction video that I did earlier, and you'll be able to understand it. I realize if I keep explaining myself in every video or every problem, the video is going to become too long and perhaps uninteresting to those who just want quick resolution to the questions they have, other than just how to solve fractions. Okay. Oh, I'm trying to work on that too. Overlooked it. So that would just be x squared plus 1 divided by x plus x divided by x squared plus 1. Yeah, don't make the mistake of canceling these. We're adding them, not multiplying. Otherwise, the answer would have been just 1. So we're going to take common denominators. We're going to take x squared plus 1. We could just multiply these together and then cross multiply and moved on, but that would make our problem even bigger. So we could just use we could just use this here. You can pretty much use whatever as long as both of them will divide into it. So x and x squared plus 1 would be x plus 1 over x times x squared plus 1 plus, so x squared and x squared would just be 1, so it'll be 1 times x. Make sure that's correct. It should be x and s. Yes, okay. And this is going to be equal to x cubed. So this x times this x times x squared, and then x plus x squared divided by x plus 1 over x plus x, all divided by x squared plus 1. Okay, to save space, we're going to just go ahead and try to write the final answer here. So there's only one x cubed. Go ahead and write that. We have x here, we have x here. Oh, and then when I divide this here, I'm going to get another x. So this is 1, 2, 3. So plus 3x. And then we have this 1 over x here. I'm just going to leave it like that. We can do more with it, but Let's leave it in that format so we can go ahead and get the final answer here. I probably should have just written a little bit smaller earlier so I had more space down here. But that's going to be our final answer. So we'll go to the next one. Okay, and for the last one, try to write a little bit smaller here so we have room at the bottom. I'm trying to fit them all in. I don't know how long it is, so let me try to write just a bit smaller. So we have g of x, which is equal to um, g of x is equal to x plus 1 divided by x plus 2. And essentially we're just treating this x as it's treated here, and we're going to treat this new x here as it's treated over there. I don't know if you explained it. I've already explained it in the past three subsections. So let's go ahead and get started. So this is our new x plus 1 divided by x plus 2 plus 1 divided by x plus 1 divided by x plus 2 plus 2. So here we're just going to go ahead and get the lowest common denominator. And then this would turn out to be x plus 1 here plus x plus 2 times 1 divided by, because I like to refer this one, kind of exaggerate that one so I know what a division line, the main division line is, because you could easily confuse it trying to finish your problems real quick. X plus 2 down here. This is plus x plus 2 times 2. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip this um, and multiply them together, and we'll be done. So we have x plus 1 plus x plus 2 divided by, sorry, that's kind of like that's a bad line right there. X plus 2 times x plus 2 divided by, let me draw a straight line, divided by x plus 1 plus 2x plus 4. And we can go ahead and divide these. Is equal to 1. I think I'm pretty much close to the answer, so let's go ahead and go down here to the end. And so this would be, go ahead and add these together, it's going to be 2x plus 3. So that's 2x plus 3 divided by, it's going to be 3x plus 5. 3x plus 5. And that's going to be our final answer. So what you do after that. Okay, that's it. Hopefully you're able to follow along. Like I said, if you didn't follow, watch my the fraction videos, and they'll explain how to essentially do simplified forms of this problem here, and it's gonna make it easy to follow. Thank you for watching, and you have a wonderful day.